SSPs and holding companies are starting to collaborate closer together, primarily because SSPs are no longer just simply facilitating inventory to the DSPs. We're actually playing a more valuable role in making sure that we're driving that benefit or supplemental benefit to the DSPs and subsequently the buyers and agencies. Really, what's fueling that is, quite frankly, just evolution over time with SSPs understanding that they have a unique value prop to deliver to the buyers and agencies and holdcos. And then really finding that foundation and that footing and making sure that we are tailoring that to the specific needs of each individual holdco.
So it's not just a relationship between the DSPs and the holding companies, the agencies anymore. The SSPs are coming to the fore. But my sense is that these partnerships are still kind of new. Everyone's trying to find their way still. What makes a successful partnership, or what do each side need to look for in the other?
Yeah. So what really drives the value of SSPs in this ecosystem between the buyer and the DSP, as well as the publisher, is, quite frankly, we sit squarely in between the two. So we have a unique purview when it comes to where we are able to drive our added value and make sure that we can take our viewpoint from the publisher and the inventory that we're trying to source and make sure it's valuable and fitting into the value prop back to the holdco. Similarly, holdcos each have their own unique value prop that they are trying to deliver to their clients, and making sure that we understand exactly where that is and playing our role in to make sure that they are executing that with those buyers.
So do you see Index Exchange as kind of the diplomat or the broker between the SSPs and agencies and holding companies? How do you see your position there?
Yeah, I mean, not so much as a diplomat necessarily, but I do think because of our unique position in the ecosystem, we can act as an advocate or even a consultant at times because we have data and a viewpoint that maybe the DSP and the buyers don't necessarily have. We're able to voice where there needs to be standards that aren't today. We're able to establish the connective tissue between the inventory and the DSP and subsequently the media plan for the holdco clients. And making sure that we can really speak on both halves, speak on part of the publisher, but also on the buy side. And I think the unique part here where we find most value in partnering with the holdcos is there's multiple divisions within the holdcos, and making sure that we are talking to each of those divisions, understand their North Star or their vision within that division, really is something that is unique to us that only us in this ecosystem where we sit has that ability to do that.
So get a little bit more specific in the ways that you collaborate and serve each of those sides in the agency SSP relationship. Where does Index Exchange come in? Is it new business pitches? Is it just helping form strategies? What's the role there?
It's kind of all of it. Depending on the division that we are collaborating with and working with, it really depends on where we show up. So we are starting to work closer with the data divisions, the investment teams, of course. We've always worked with the investment teams, but our remit is starting to expand beyond just commercials. We're looking at how can we actually help build products with these holdcos. So we're co-building within the data divisions or the product suite. How are we helping kind of evangelize all of the different offerings that they have at a holdco level and make it work in a broader, maybe even more kind of like Swiss Army knife way to allow them to take that back to their clients in new business pitches. So it's really working cross-collaboratively with the different teams so that we are utilizing all of the different pieces that an SSP has within our business to make sure that we can support them. So an example of this is we work with the data teams to establish the best practices to getting data across to the inventory with our publishers, but also enabling them to do that at scale across the DSPs in a wider swath. We also are working with the sports divisions now that holdcos have, as well as the pharma divisions that holdcos have. And each of those needs are very different. So making sure that we're listening and really being kind of a solution-oriented partner and not just, dare I say, dumb pipe, to facilitate the buying from the DSP to the publisher.
I like the idea of the Swiss Army knife idea for what index exchange stands for in this relationship. Where do you see that relationship evolving? Do you see it adding more tools to the Swiss Army knife that is index exchange? Is it just new demands from either the SSPs or the agencies and their clients? What do you see next?
Yeah, so we still are seeing a lot of consolidation happening across the ecosystem and the industry. That's really being fueled by product, quite frankly. It's no longer just commercials or supply path as we define it today. It's really looking at where can the SSP partners show up and really partner in a meaningful way. One of the things that we at Index really kind of double down on is the sell side decisioning. So we're starting to see the shift of all of the decision making being done at a DSP now start to happen closer to the inventory. So within the SSP and the publisher side. One of our value props to our holdcos is that we are able to enable this sell side decisioning and make sure that we're supplementing what the DSP can do. We're working in conjunction with them, but we're making it smarter and making sure that we are reporting back and communicating those values to our holdco partners because that then helps them inform or decide how they're going to go forward in their new business pitches, retaining clients. And so we're really starting to double down on this is a shift that's happening. And we're going to probably see other SSPs start to come into this space, which is validating. Those that don't go into that space will probably see more consolidation.